games. It's ScrubGames. Double up. Drop a like, drop a sub, go ahead and subscribe to ScrubGames. Drop a like, drop a sub, go ahead and subscribe to ScrubGames.
How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we're going over a new topic, being to see if the new rare bases will shake up the game. Because we got rare bases in set 1, and they were very strong. Well, majority of them were, because even though they had less HP than the normal bases, they still have very powerful effects like ECL, or Energy Conversion Lab as its proper name is. Was very powerful, allowing you to play a 6 cost or less, as long as you paid a cost for it, out with Ambush, which is a very strong keyword, and then even now like Tarkin Town in the current meta is a very strong one, being able to deal 3 damage to damage unit, and it's very easy to damage units with, well, a couple of sets in the works. And you even got some other area bases that all play for set 1 as well, like Security Complex all play to give a shield to units, so you can like protect the wing for free once, and then you got the other one, Jetacide, which doesn't really see play. And then we didn't get any for set 2, but then we got some in set 3, and they were more Twin Suns focused, because they're all about either triggering your leader deploys or boosting your leader. And in Twin Suns you get 2 leaders, so it's more beneficial there. You had ones that either boosted the permanently boosted the health or power of your leader when it's deployed, and the other ones were when deployed do a thing, either draw a card or get 2 droid tokens, token units. And I would set 4, like, you would think that maybe we get a break from rare bases and have them in this like set 5, like so rare bases, break from the set, rare bases, but no, driven set 4, so doing set that hasn't had rare bases set 2, and set 4 brings us ones that have even higher HP than normal 30 on common bases, and some cool deck building kind of effects. So we're going to get into it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to keep updated with my videos as and when they drop, and also click the notification bell to get alerts when my videos do drop, so you can watch them there and then, or at a later time that suits you. So now we've got all that little ramblings over it, let's have a look at these rare bases and see if they will shake up the game. So starting off with the Colossus, this is the rare base for blue in the set. It's the highest, it's going to be the highest total health on a base at 35. But the downside, because you remember, if you're lowering the health of your base, you are essentially doing that for a stronger effect. So the lower the health of the base, the stronger the effect. The higher the health of the base, the more of a, I kind of think, what's the word for it? It's kind of like drawback you have to the effect. So for Colossus, it's in blue, so already blue is like an aspect that's all about healing. They can heal. It's got the lots of effects to heal base and protect your base and things like that, like have sentinels, just heal your base in general with effects or events. And it comes with a 35 health base, so 5 more than the common bases. And the downside to having this extra 5 health is that you draw 1 less card in your starting hand, which means now when you have an opening hand with playing this base, instead of having 6 cards to open with, you open with 5. So even 1 less card, meaning that after you resource, you've only got 3 cards in your hand, which does reduce the amount of options you have, and could potentially be bad. But then you're only sacrificing 1 extra card at 5 HP, and if you're if you're like card control, where you want more health so you can survive, you don't mind having less cards because you're not really playing much. You're mainly just stopping your opponent from playing, or like taking out their things. So having one less hand is not that bad. Like, this is a really strong base, because 5 extra HP at a loss of 1 extra card in your hand is not too bad. And especially in blue, especially playing Dark Side, you got things like Perishing that can help you draw back cards, like gain more advantage up and stuff like that. And all nice things like that as well. And if you're playing with, like, say, Bosk, you've even got those the bounty Deathmark that can help you draw more cards, especially when you deploy Bosk and get a double bounty, double trigger of it. It can be very strong. Like, giving blue a 35 health base, which is like I said, an aspect where you got healing, seems crazy, and the drawback even isn't that bad. So this is going to be a very nice rare base to have. So remember, there's one every color, so we're going to have a look and see what the other ones do as well. And next we have the Data Vault. So this is the one for green, and this was another one that has more than the standard health. So 33 health, so only 3 extra health instead of 5. And its drawback is increasing your deck size. So the odd thing about this is that if you, this is a spoiler as well, if in case you haven't been paying attention to spoilers, the red one has a similar kind of deck size kind of effect. But the amount of cards it adjusts in your deck is different, because well, we'll see when we get to there. But this one is essentially saying, but if you want 3 extra health, you have to play 10 more cards in your deck. And you remember, like deck thinning is deck winning, so less cards in your deck means more consistency in finding what you need to find. So having more cards means you have to play a minimum of 60 cards. But then again, that's not too bad considering you get an extra bit of health. And green also does have a little bit of healing. Not as strong and not as much of healing effects as blue. Like blue has like full on healing, whereas green has sprinkled bits of healing, like small amounts, but it still has healing. So being able to have a 33 health base for green, and only downside is not having less cards in your hand opening with, but you get to basically just increase your deck size by 10, which could be pretty good, especially if you're playing against mill and you hate on your fear mill. But this is a pretty nice card to come in. Like extra 3 health for 10 more cards in your deck isn't too much of a drawback, which is pretty nice. Then we come to the red one, Thermal Oscillator, and this one, like I said, it's a similar one to the green one, where it's all about your deck size, deck building. And this one has less health, so it's not more health, but less health. Less health by 3, so as you can see, they both have, like green, has a deck size effect for like when you're deck building. But with lower health means you get to decrease. So this one has 3 less health, so still probably the highest. Well, the lower health base is at 27, because I think 26 was the for Pal City and stuff like that. But this one gives you 3 less health than a normal vanilla base, and the benefit of having that is you get the put 5 less cards in your deck. But then it seems weird, doesn't it? Because you're getting 3 more health, and you're getting 3 more health in green, and the cost of that is 10 more cards. But you're getting 3 less health in red, and that's 5 less cards. So it seems weird now. One is like a 3 health difference, and you get 5 is the amount of cards you increase or decrease in your deck is 5, and the other one is the same amount of increase. Well, what's it difference in health at 3, but it's 10. So essentially, if you want to decrease your deck size by 5 cards, you lose 3 health. If you want to increase it by 10, or if you want to lower it by 3, you decrease your deck size by 5. But if you want to increase your increase your health by 3, you increase your deck size by 10. So it costs more cards in decks to increase your health, and less cards in deck to decrease your health, which is pretty cool. But this comes pretty handy because less cards, like I said, deck thinning is deck winning, and less cards in your deck means you got more consistency. And having a 45 card deck means you got more chance of seeing what you want when you want to see it, and less like, say if you're building a deck and sometimes you're trying to think, oh, I need to get to 50 cards, but you're stuck for options, you guys just throw in things that might be useful, or like tech cards. And this effect is pretty nice in that you don't have to worry about throwing in those tech cards into the deck, because you've got less cards in your deck, and you can worry less about having to fill it up with cards that you think just need to get the minimum deck size, things like that. So pretty nice card, pretty nice base there. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but next we have the yellow base, the yellow rare base, and this is Nabat Village. And just like red, gives you less health, but not as much of a decrease as the rest. So like the lowest health so far is 27, which is cool. And this one is affected in Mulligan. So because we remember we saw like I think they put out FFG put out a little thing saying about like a hint towards some of the cards, and one of them mentioned the mulligans. So after seeing the other ones and seeing this one last, we knew that this one was going to have to be the mulligan. So 27 health base, and the benefit for this one that you're getting for having 3 less health in your base is that you get to draw 3 more cards in your starting hand. So instead of drawing a 6 card hand, you get to draw a 9 card hand, but then you can't have a mulligan. So you get to start off the game with 9 cards in hand and can't mulligan. So you draw those 9 cards and that's it. You've got to deal with that resource too. And then when the first action phase start, so literally the first turn of the game, you got to put 3 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. So you don't get to keep those 3 extra cards, which seems crazy, but you do get to have more, like dig further in your deck to find things you want to kind of like make your hand a little bit better. Like you don't get a mulligan, but you get more cards to kind of have more options. So instead of having, because with the mulligan, you have to put your entire hand back to into your deck, shuffle it, then redraw. Whereas 9 cards, you could maybe like have 1 card in your hand that's like just like you want, but then you don't have to put all of them back. So this one allows you to start with a 9 card hand. Can't mulligan it though, and then at the start of the turn, well, when you start the turn, you have to put back 3 of the cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. But at least you get to choose the order. That's pretty nice. You get to choose the order, even though you're not going to get to it quite far unless you can fit through your deck quite quickly. But the nice thing about this deck is that if you're looking for combo pieces or certain kind of cards to open with, like say if you're being aggressive and you need to get certain cards, this is very good for combo decks because it allows you to make sure you get those pieces that you want to start off with or like use. And even though you didn't get a mulligan, you get them see more cards than standard just to make sure your opening hand is how you want. Because sometimes with combo decks, if you don't get a good opening or beginning, then you kind of it kind of goes downhill. You got to fight back, you got to fight a little bit harder just to stay in the game and pull off your combo. But then being able to see 9 cards in your deck to make sure you've got a good opening hand is pretty nice. So you can't mulligan, so there's a chance you can still break, but still more cards means more chance of starting off the game pretty well. So that is all the color ones, and there is one extra rare base. So you might be thinking, why is there an extra rare base? We've got 1 for each color. Well, let's have a look at the last one. So there is one last rare base, and it is a aspectless base. So for the first time in the game, we've got a base with no aspect, but the benefit of not having that extra aspect is that you get a 34 health base with, yeah, it's only down, like you might be thinking, there's no downside to this, it's just a 34 health base, so that's pretty good, but then you lose an aspect. Now, the thing is, I was thinking, looking at this and thinking, this might not be too bad for decks that just want to play 1 color, but usually decks that want to play 1 color want to play the dual color because then they get access to the double aspect cards like Vigilance and stuff, like Vigilance and Cunning and things like that, Command. So if you do want to stick to 1 color, you might as well just play a, well, yeah, 30 health like common base, because then at least you get access to the double aspect cards. Sure, you lose 4 health, but at least you got a second aspect, and even in double aspect, it's better to have that, have access. Like if you're playing double blue, you want to have access to Vigilance because a 4-cost event allows you to heal and remove something, or even like mill as well as an alternative win. That's pretty good. Like Command, having access to some of the double green cards. Like you got the I can't remember what his name is now. The 2-cost one that every time you play a unit, you get to tap him and look at the top 3 or 4 cards for a unit, so you can keep your hand healthy. Or even like Command, and then even then we got like Cunning, you got Aggression, you got like Cunning, and some of the cool double Cunning cards, and even Aggression. Aggression you don't really care too much really about. Like if you're playing Aggression, if you're playing with like for a hard control, you're normally playing a blue base. You can have access to blue cards. If you play mid range, you normally have access to green. And if you're playing like very aggressive like aggro, you don't really care about having more health. You want the benefit of the base, either having a different aspect. Like if you're playing like just mono red to go aggressive, maybe you can have this to have more health in your base, but you don't really care about that. You'd rather be using a base that's got more effect, like from Oscillator to have less cards, you get more access to find your aggressive cards and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how useful a late country is because you're losing a whole ever aspect just to have a little bit more health on base. And if you want a little bit more health on base, you'd rather just use the ever bases unless you're one that doesn't have more health on base. And if then you're just using a common base. So late country is a cool one. Like they all have cool art as well, but I'm not sure if it's going to be used like the other ones. But that is it for today. Thank you for watching. feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about these rare bases. Do you think they're gonna shake up the game? I think at least with the blue one, that's probably gonna shake up the game. Maybe the red one as well, with reducing deck size. And I'm gonna look forward to trying out the yellow one for like combo decks as well to see if it kind of helps having be able to see more cards in hand but not have a mulligan. But let me know in the comments section what you feel and what you think about these rare bases, and I'll catch you next one. Bye for now.